The Montego Bay Sports Complex is ready for action in this fixture. Match week 15, Montego Bay United coming up against Waterhouse. 6 Premier League titles between these two teams. Mobay with 4 of them, 2 under their name presently, and 2 when they were called Seba United back in the late 90s. Here's a head-to-head Waterhouse with 2 victories back-to-back. What in that first fixture this season, 3-0 win, and Javane Brand getting 2 of them, as we said earlier. Denada Thomas with the other, and they split results last season. Waterhouse also winning that 3-0 fixture, and then Mobay United getting the better of them by a goal tonight. It was Leonardo Fogati on that day, the last time Mobay United executed a victory against this Waterhouse team. Surface has seen quite a bit of rain. You can see quite a few of the players walking gingerly out to the middle. Chris Taylor here alongside Dwight Jeremiah. And Dwight, it's been a while since we've been here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex, and this fixture has always been a mouth-watering one.
Always has been. We were here last time. I think myself and Lance was the occupant of this box, and yeah, it was long overdue. I think we'll pause for the playing of the national anthem.
Playing of Jamaica's national anthem.
Jamaica national anthem. Mobay United against Waterhouse as they go through the pleasantries. And what a big match this promises to be. A lot at stake. Waterhouse with a win here will take them into the top 6. Mobay United, who currently sit in 9th. 3 points for them here today, and they'll leapfrog Waterhouse into 7th position. And Dwight Jeremiah, as you're saying, always an intense battle. You do wonder if the weather and the pitch may play a part as well, because football has not been played here consistently, and it'll be interesting to see how it behaves.
Well, the pitch is something that a lot of teams have complained about. The national team came here, complained about it, and also with the teams before them last season, they did complain as well.
Alexi Perry, the man with the whistle, Kemar Gale, Rolonzo Bennett, and Shane Nation, his assistants. Shane Nation did do the match at Trax Hall, one of the games at Trax Hall yesterday.
So he's taking the rest.
He's taking the rest as the 4th official. Shane Nation, very experienced, as a couple FIFA officials involved. Shane Nation probably ranked 2nd on the Jamaica list behind Daniel Parchment in terms of...
But actively now, he probably is number 1. Parchment is out recovering from an injury.
Yeah. So Mobay United in their red kit with grey trim. This is how they will be lining up, and they'll be playing with a 4-4-2. A lot of work in the transfer market. Hospitales coming in, Trinningham as well, both Trinidad and Tobago nationals. Wayne Gordon, who was the Golden Boot winner back in 2016, the last time they won with 19 goals. He will partner Brian Brown, who is also a former Golden Boot winner as well. So an interesting lineup. They have the Brazilians in there as well, Correa and Ferreira, as well as their goalkeeper, William Ferreira, between the sticks.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of new players in there. Whether or not we'll see the fluidity as they would want is another matter. And at times you bring in new players, you just don't get the chemistry early enough, and they'd want to get that against Waterhouse tonight.
Waterhouse go back with their 4-3-3 formation. Not much changes in the squad here, even though they're looking to do business in the transfer market. Nicoy Christian has to settle for a place on the bench. Andre Fletcher is there as well, of course, with 6 goals and in good form, as well as Javane Bryan, their player to watch, the point man as well, with 9 goals this season. Rivaldo Mitchell comes into the starting lineup, always an exciting player in the wide areas. Kemar Foster, as usual, between the sticks, and the ever-present Shamari Dallas with his work rate in the flank area. We expect him to be busy as well, this Waterhouse team, as we said, executing already a 3-0 win against Mobay United this season.
Yeah, and even so, as much as they have the 9-goal Bryan and Fletcher 6-goal man in the team, they definitely will want to. They wanted to bring back the man they lost to Mount Pleasant, who was on loan at Harbourview, so they still believe that they need to get more up front.
So Mobay very busy in the transfer window, as you said. Wayne Gordon coming in. What a big boost that is for them. 32 years of age now. He'll partner Brian Brown, who is 31 years of age, so not the youngest players, but so much experience. Brian Brown, of course, in 2013-14 was the leading goal scorer in the league. Had 19 goals as well, and 4 already this season after coming into the squad, Brown. So yeah, lots of experience up front from Mobay, and they'll be hoping that that will continue to bring them points and push them up the table. It's Waterhouse with the possession now, driving down the right-hand side. And lofty ball into the area.
And we look at the outfit from Mobay United as this attack builds up for Waterhouse.
Mitchell looking for the ball into the air. Skillful player, Rivaldo Mitchell, from his days at Woolmer's Boys.
Yeah, didn't win that duel just now or get past the defender. Would have been confident. You always want to win your first battle in a game. That sets you up nicely. But as you see, the Sanchez there, coach of Mobay United, but the outfit, closer looking to what Seba United, used to look like they're at. So probably going back to roots with that.
Denarda Thomas, who did score in this fixture last time out, has the responsibility of the corner, and yeah, he'll win another on the opposite side of the field. Waterhouse off to a positive start. The visitors did actually travel today. How much does that play a part as well, Dwight Jeremiah? You, even at the high school level, will be used to a lot of travels.
Yeah, a lot of times when you do that on the day that you travel, especially with the distance coming down, you don't want to make it just one straight travel. You want to stop maybe 2 or 3 times on the road, on the trip, on the journey coming down to just stretch the legs. But you also want to get here early enough, 2-3 hours before, just to make sure those nerves will fire when the games kick off.
Well, 2.5 hours was the time they reached before, just about 5 o'clock. Andre Fletcher will swing this one in, yeah, with the left foot. They certainly look settled. Oh, that's a very powerful header there at the near post. It was Keith Simpson, the 33-year-old experienced central midfielder.
And I see a lot of that these days, especially in this league as well, and even international level, just attacking that front post, because sometimes the defenders at that front post, they have their eyes on the ball, not seeing the approaching attacker from the blind side, and just getting ahead of him, just couldn't flick it back on target, too far outside the front post. But that's something that Montego Bay United will have to watch to see if it's a deliberate ploy from Waterhouse to attack that front post.
And Keith Simpson with 1 goal already this season, and yeah, has played in central midfield, actually playing centre back today, but generally plays within the spine. In that season where they went all the way to they actually won the preliminary round under Marcel Fuzzy-Gale, who is in picture now. Keith Simpson actually played in that defensive midfield role, was excellent in that position, but playing centre back so far for the majority of this season. He'll have some defending to do now as Mobay with a free kick. Deep into the air, looking for the head of Brown. Darnell Hospitalis with the delivery, wearing the number 4 for Mobay. 24 years of age, Hospitalis. Plays for the Jamaica Defence Force before this in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, that's a nice pass, looking for Brian. Brian is in. It's a difficult angle for Brian. But nice move there from Waterhouse, running the lines, and Brian always a willing runner. Almost rags to riches for Brian, who was playing in the lower tiers of Jamaica initially. And in his first season at the Premier League, He is the leading goal scorer in the league. Amazing entrance.
Didn't have enough room in the end, and then it wasn't helped by the greasy surface. The fact that it's wet out there, just skidding across the ball, just got away from him. In the end, the angle got very, very acute, and the only thing on for him was a cutback. Still couldn't wrap his foot around it. So
far in the early stages, the roll of the ball seems to be pretty good, though, Dwight. I was very curious about the surface, considering not a lot of football has.
They said they did some work
football
on it since the last time there was a Premier League game here last season, and I've seen some evidence of it, because you could from here see the bad weeds in it.
Yes.
And there were big patches of it, and so
it's two-toned, isn't it? It's a bit orange and green, but
I think getting there, a lot of persons said when the surface was laid here, it was taken up and taken to Kingston.
And maybe the slight rain might have helped it as well, just to be a little softer. But so far, the roll seems to be pretty even. Let's see how it goes. Here's Waterhouse driving forward. Fletcher cutting inside. Likes the left foot though, does Fletcher. Hence he goes back to it. And it's whipped inside, but out from a bay.
Yeah, Fletcher just cutting inside and outside and turning the defender around. In the end, got enough space to execute the shot, and was always going off target anyway. TKB just can't seem to get their attack going, breaking down in the middle of the park.
Simpson, nice through pass. Fletcher looking to do the give and go with Denada Thomas, doesn't work out. Andre Fletcher and Denada Thomas, good link-up play there. Fletcher has really found back his confidence, which he had lost when he made that move from Waterhouse after really having a good first half of the season. Went to Mount Pleasant and really lost his way.
Returned.
Yeah, only scored one goal and lost his form, ended up on the bench. Returned to Waterhouse, and well, he certainly loves the blue and yellow colours.
Yeah, he's a player I love to watch as well when he's in full flight. When to me, he's a confident player. If his confidence is low, then it really goes bad for him. But when he's on his game, a joy to watch. And the smile is out as well when that happens. Plays with a smile on his face. Here's Mitchell. Quite a few step overs and looking to get that delivery. Well, it's Montego Bay United with the Brazilians, but Waterhouse displaying some of those Brazilian flares on 2 or 3 occasions so far.
Mitchell, who's played for quite a few clubs in the Jamaica Premier League, did spend time at Arnett Gardens in his early part of his career. He was at Harbour View as well under Ludlow Bernard. Spent a bit of time at Malines United as well. Now settling down at Waterhouse. Brian looking to whip that in. Can't get past the first defender though. Waterhouse a bit more organised going forward thus far. Good work initially by Don J. Brown.
Saw Wellington coming forward. It just took a bit too long for Mobay United to come to this side.
Well, here they go. Pass over the top, looking for Brown of the Dion J variety. And that will be a goal kick.
Yeah, I was looking for something in the end, but I just felt on the counter, you have to say in transition, Montego Bay a pass, stopped field, and then got it wide. But I just think Wellington, who was the outside player who was looking to provide the support, was so slow in coming that they couldn't play that switch and play the point of attack. They had to come around, and by that time, Waterhouse just regained their shape and was in a low block to be able to snuff out any danger. But that's something that attacks needs to have depth and balance, and the balance is provided with the width on the passive side. Montego Bay just not getting that act together.
I just want to generally, Montego Bay look to attack through the spine. They don't usually use a width a lot. They don't have natural overlapping wing backs to Mobay United.
Here.
And I wonder if that's why they have struggled against Waterhouse, because Waterhouse are strong through the spine. Free kick there. For Waterhouse. But yeah, Waterhouse, I find in the times that they've been very vulnerable, there's been attempts to exploit them from the flank area, which sometimes they don't cover as well, and they're pulled out of position. But that is not necessarily Mobay's play. So, and if you look at that, when you think back to that 3-0 when it was a dismal first half for Mobay United, and they were taken apart from Waterhouse. 3 goals in the first half. But yeah, that was almost why Mobay had nothing going, really. And it was comfortable for Waterhouse.
But you'd expect them to learn their lessons from that.
Here they are, looking to get the ball into the air. It's from Chiberson. Comes to Fletcher, then the strike well over the top in the end. And never threatening the goal from Nevada Blair.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out pretty quickly here, Montego Bay United, because it could be a repeat of that first game between them. Because Waterhouse, they're really, and if you look at them too, the fact that they're looking to press high up, they have what we call a mirror in my coaching style as well. Those two players high up the park, just looking to mirror the centre backs that would have pushed wide to receive that pass from the goalkeeper, and just preventing them doing that. As you can see on your screens, it's showering down here. So now Montego Bay United ditch their attempts to pass out from the back, on which will they go long, and you feel if Waterhouse have forced them to do that, they'll be ready for that.
Yeah, the rain is back with us. By no means heavy, but consistent. And so are Waterhouse so far in the opening 10 minutes of this game. Driving forward in the wide area. And that will be easy for William Ferreira, who's really shown his class since coming into the Jamaica Premier League. And earning a clean sheet last time out again against...
Was looking to get his countryman
Limehall
going just now in his namesake, Reyes Ferreira, but yeah, that one just skidded across the turf. The crowd giving him a lot of stick, but I feel, you know, on a normal condition without the wet surface, you know, that one probably would have been gathered by Ferreira.
3 clean sheets for Mobay United this season, 2 of them coming against Limehall. And last time out, yeah, the 3-0 win against Limehall. Very solid performance in both halves from Mobay United. Owain Gordon getting his first goal after returning back to the Premier League. Here's Waterhouse though, and caught in an offside position. Looked like Chiberson in the wide area. Or was it Brian?
They're creating good overloads, Waterhouse in the wide areas, doubling up on the full backs for Montego Bay United. Getting some joy.
And over the last couple of seasons as well, even though they've had their defensive issues, Mobay have struggled to find consistent goals. And you just wonder with the experience now of a Brian Brown and a Owain Gordon, if that will really help them along their way. Both of them scoring in that 3-0 win against Limehall. Brian, who's been playing for longer, Brian Brown, he has 4 now in the season, and Owain Gordon now with 1. But is that the kind of quality that Mobay have been missing, and do you think that will drive them, or you think they're a little over the hill?
You can't really judge them against a Limehall because they're with no wins in the season so far at the bottom of the table, just 4 points. But this will be a test to see whether or not they're over the hill. The age would suggest that, and you suspect that service to them is going to have to be to feet, not into space for them to run onto. It's going to be how good they can play, probably with their back to goal, and with that static nature that they might present an easy target for the Waterhouse defenders to mark. But they're not small lads, and as such, maybe the physicality they can bring to it, and just look to roll defenders and get just that extra yard to execute. But this will be a good test for them. The Limehall thing, I think, was merely just the appetizer.
Yeah. Here is Ferreira with the delivery, takes most of the dead ball kicks for Mobay United, and it's into Brown. DeAndre Brown, who's been busy in the opening 13 minutes. Ferreira again, good pass from Ferreira, but trying to be a little cheeky was Brian Brown, and it didn't work out. Was looking for a strike partner in Owain Gordon.
Yeah, just looking to play the dummy, but fooled also his strike partner, who was not in the path to receive that. But it's something I alluded to early, is that with all the transfers coming in from Mobay, it's nice that you bring in new talent. They will take some time to gel as well, and that just showed there that they were on 2 different wavelengths.
There's Brian Brown, now finds Gordon. Gordon will have good memories playing for Mobay United. In fact, the 2 titles they have had under this current name, Owain Gordon was a part of the squad, a part of the team. And of course, as I said, leading goal scorer for Mobay United in the 2015-2016 winning season, where he scored 19 goals en route to the title. They're number 27. 32 years of age, has played majority of his football in the United States at the USL Championship level. Scored a lot of goals there as well.
And I find that's the case with a lot of the coaches in the Jamaica Premier League, barring out, you know, Without Speed has his own formula, but when it gets to this stage, it's about experience. I have a few talk with some of them, and yeah, Ferreira, part blocked
through the legs.
Yeah, but yeah, you get them looking for experience now at the back and up front. That's what they're looking for, wanting that. They feel that that is what will carry them over.
Ferreira again will have a delivery. Nice towards the penalty spot. The heads go up. Oh, beautiful save that is from Kemar Foster. Not the cleanest of headers. It might have actually come off the shoulder in the end. And was it Trimingham?
It's Trimingham. And he had his hand up looking. He's a big lad, not just sideways, but also not as vertical as well. And he had his head up there, his hand up first. And he really did everything to get onto the end of it. Yeah, not a clean one in the end. And then hit the defender. I think, as we have a look here, went up, at the end of the defender. That deflection took it up a little bit more, and that forced the acrobatic save in the end.
Yeah, good save in the end from Kemar Foster. But the sting was taken out of it from the back of Keith Simpson, I think it was.
Yeah, the sting took taken out of it, but also the deflection then create another obstacle for Foster, which he dealt with it well in the end. But that's the first attack from Montego Bay United, and if the game continued the way it has started with Waterhouse dominating possession through open play and getting most of the attack, the set pieces may be a route for Montego Bay United to do some damage here.
The big centre-back Trimingham, another player from Trinidad and Tobago, acquired in the transfer window, 27 years of age, the number 15.
And Brian Brown, with all his experience, not frightened by Alexis Perry showing his authority, you know.
There's Trimingham rising high again. Another player who's been living in the United States for a while, Trimingham, and playing in the USL. Waterhouse into the area. With a strike, well over the top.
Yeah, just looking to guide that one. Substituted the power
looks like
for placement.
Comfortably over in the end from Shamar Booth.
Yeah, and the stands filling up gradually. I'm not surprised that it's not more packed, but I suspect
maybe the weather.
Weather and traffic. I can tell you, I was stuck in it for about an hour and a half trying to get here. Started from the Sanchez International Airport, coming all the way out to Catherine Hall. So it's difficult for a lot of them. Peak hours after work.
So much for being a bypass of the town.
Well, they have the main bypass there. I think it's just started. They've broken ground for it. We'll see the time between the ground has been broken to the time it's completed. That's always the issue in Jamaica. So, but it's crying out for it, this city.
Yes, bursting at the seams, as they would say. A pretty smooth and open ride all the way onto the hip strip or top road if you want as well. With whichever one of the two, both are blocked.
Yeah.
Anyhow, here's Waterhouse looking to find an opening, and the Mobay defense line is blocked just like their traffic. And here's Ferreira. Haven't been really quick in transition thus far, Mobay. I'm sure this will be offside. Yes. Going way too early was Brian Brown.
I think he'll try and do that. That's why I was saying playing to those wide areas may not be, you know, something that they'll do regularly or look to do, because, yeah, he'll look to steal a little bit of yard, extra yard on the younger defenders, and how long he'll be able to make those into-out runs at his age.
Back-to-back wins for Mobay in the last couple of weeks. And in fact, 2 wins in 3 matches and a draw. So undefeated in 3. And a good little run for Mobile United under Nader dos Santos. It's a kind of consistency he's been looking for all season, and hence a real opportunity to move further up the table. 18 points from their 14 games thus far, 5 wins, 3 draws and 6 defeats. Strong challenge coming in there from Hospitales on Shamar Booth. Immediately brought Alexi Perry into action. Never afraid to blow his whistle or show a yellow card.
Probably a means to control the game.
Yeah, and he's the first one to go in the book, Darnell Hospitales, the 24-year-old TNT national. Cleared on that occasion by his countryman, and will be a chance to settle things in the middle of the park. No surprise at Waterhouse, with the majority of the possession, they have looked the more positive of the two in the first 21 minutes of play.
Yeah, you could say meaningful possession. That sometimes we see the possession and it's misleading because it's not in those areas that would worry the opponent, but they have had a few moments there that has caused Montego Bay United some concern, but I think that early rush has pretty much subsided and will be going steadily into this one.
Ferreira showing some Brazilian flair, as you said, Dwight Jeremiah, but then giving it up.
Not flary enough.
Playing across the area always dangerous, but Waterhouse come up with it well. Now with Donada Thomas, he's been rather quiet. Was one of the goal scorers in that 3-0 win. And that was quite ambitious, looking for Javane Bryan, who wasn't on the same wavelength. And it's through to the keeper.
William Ferreira having some issues. He's certainly in the right footwear for this weather. But yeah, as we say, stands filling up a bit.
Well, he'll be pretty happy with how his side has started so far, though, William Ferreira. At this stage, his team was already down 1-0 on the 30th of October when they last met. So, improvement as the rain continues here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. We're on the western side of the island in the parish of St. James, a parish which has produced 8 Premier League titles, as we said earlier, 4 from Bay United, 2 for Wadada, 2 for Violet Kickers.
Yeah.
Download the SportsMax app today. Download it from your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and watch lovely sport in action on the home of champions. And it could be cricket if you want. Test cricket going on as well soon. England and India. Australia against the West Indies. Of course, the West Indies struggling down 1-0 down under and looking to make amends in the second test. African Cup of Nations. Some really lovely matches in that as well. Carabao Cup going on as well. The EFL Championship, if you like English football. And of course the Champions League is there as well. Those who like the sport of champions can catch their horse racing there. There is motor racing as well. So much action, field hockey and WTA tennis. Just a few of the many things. Of course, we know the summer of this year, look out for the 2024 Olympics.
Yep.
Summer Olympics. That will be a big deal.
Always a big deal for Jamaica.
Champions. Yeah. And we've seen currently in the stands as well, there's going to be a whistle on the play there. That was a bit cumbersome. 2 players are down. Ronaldo Wellington, one of them. the Montego United number 2. Let's look at it here.
Yeah.
Ooh, not much in that, but it was a collision after the fact.
But the free kick will go to Waterhouse. But I think Trimmingham trying to go back there, I think wasn't the best decision. And then when you realize they'd given it away, was just trying to make amends. But needed to progress the ball on that occasion, the Trinidadian.
Yeah. I was about to say that in the stands, the awareness when it comes to the SportsMax app has been really growing. The more and more we look in the stands, we've seen so many players, so many fans, I should say, on their phones, taking in the app, looking at the replays and the content.
I was caught myself recently.
Maybe we should ask referee assessor Courtney Campbell if he's been taking in the app as well.
I'm sure he used it when he missed a play out there and wants to be correct,
confirmation.
No stake. Yeah, it's not taken, so yeah.
He's a serious note taker, isn't he?
Exactly.
Don't get in that book.
No.
Former FIFA referee as well, Courtney Campbell.
But since the early flurry from Waterhouse, not getting a lot of goalmouth activity here, I think that's something that, you know, the fans here will always, they support their team, but they always make it known their feelings if things aren't going well.
Very vocal.
Yeah. They're not afraid to get on.
They'll bang anything that is close to them. The stands, the windows.
And if Montego were to score, then maybe you and I would have to
They
pause.
don't need drums at this stadium. Well, here's an opportunity for them into the area. And that's lifted over the top. Kemar Foster did make it difficult for Owain Gordon. And even with all his experience, the 32-year-old striker, he couldn't get it past Kemar Foster, who made himself big.
That was a good link-up play as well. Striker to striker, and I think they're getting it well, but that's a big save. That's a big save from Foster, because that one was going in, looking to sneak it in at the near post.
They've taken the corner quickly, have Montego United, as they look to drill another one inside here. This one lofted towards Trimmingham, who is a big lad, as you say, and even Keith Simpson feels the full weight of the Montego number 15.
Just as I called for goalmouth activity, that was a good one, and I have to repeat again because it's not so much the fault of Gordon, but more so the save from Foster.
Yeah, good save. It looked like it might have come off the leg in the end that put it over the bar. But
just made himself as big as he possibly could.
Agreed. Was a goalkeeper of the season 2 seasons ago, for sure. Made his way into the national program.
So, yeah.
Waterhouse did win the preliminary round and
was expected to go on and win it all.
Accumulated, I think, 9 clean sheets in the season.
I think it came at the time when their head coach took up duties for Jamaica national duties, I think with under 20.
And it really affected them in the end.
Gail
they finished 4th at the end of it all. Fell away in the playoffs. Into the area yet again, and this will be easy for Foster. Very talented cricketer he was in his time. Won titles at the schoolboy level with Innswood High School. He was a wicketkeeper batsman, was Kemar Foster. Well,
he's made an unexpected transition, to that, and no doubt his reflex that good, because a lot of the times I suspect the ball would be coming to him a lot faster sometimes than we're seeing here. We'll see this over the top there, just maybe how he fell.
A bit of an awkward landing.
More like the ankle situation for Brown.
Rain coming down a lot more now, a lot heavier, as you can see there. Very steady, and even the visibility might be slightly affected. So we'll call on your technique a lot more now with these extra greasy conditions and the ball zipping off the surface.
And the technique of Foster too, you suspect, and also Ferreira, because with these conditions, coaches always say let's test them once you get a chance.
And instead of kicking high, let it hit the ground and skid. And sometimes it will even take off.
Yeah.
Pounding down on the roof here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex is the rain now. Here is Gordon.
Sandy underneath too as well, so I don't expect any puddles or waterlogging to take place, should deal with this condition fairly well, this surface.
Yeah. Ball moving across nicely. And even though on camera you might say it might not be the prettiest looking surface, so far I've been very impressed with the
roll
how
of
the ball has traveled.
Yeah.
Into the area. Looking for Gordon. His first touch isn't the best, but he still has it. Now Wayne Gordon. Nice pass out to Brown, and it's skewed and wide. Well, between these two, they've had some 78 goals in their career. And Owain Gordon providing this time for Brown. They've been sharing it well. And this shot is wide. Leger Williams, what do you have for us? I hear you're in the stands.
Yeah, I'm here with the Ray Neville fan spirit. I'm here with Waterhouse's biggest fan, I have to say it at this point. He's here at every game. He's even traveled all the way from Kingston here to Montego Bay in enemy conditions. What are you feeling about the game so far?
The game look interesting already, you know. Remember we played them already another match, so this one is ours, same way. This is ours. This is our game. Whether rain, sun or shine, Waterhouse game this.
Yeah, but I noticed that you go to every enemy stadium and you're still feeling very comfortable. What is the source of all this confidence?
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. If you think about one team, you can't make them be up your enemy. I don't see nobody. I don't see no threat. I don't see a threat. I don't see a threat at Waterhouse. See they're getting back Jordan Fletcher and Owen Garden. Still not ready. Still not ready for Waterhouse.
But, you know, I have to say it, I'm a neutral here, but they're the ones piling on all the pressure. You're still so calm. You still say it's an extra love.
The race is not for the swift, it's who can endure to the last. Remember that saying. The race is not for the swift, who can endure to the last. So all the pressure, we're going to soak it up. Probably it's a one love in the rain here.
Well, it come to break some hearts. I don't expect anything less from Waterhouse. Kamara, big up yourself all the time. And this was the Ray Neville fan spirit. We'll soon come back with more.
Thanks, Leger. Very confident Waterhouse support.
Soaking up the pressure, soaking up some of the rain as well. The players on the park.
Taxi driver by trade, so he's used to
going
traveling.
places.
You're going places. Waterhouse looking to go places here in the wide area. It's Blair. Well, free, and there's converted. Oh, that was so easy. Javane Bryan hits double figures on the season. And well, must have been shocked in terms of how much space he found at the far post. Nevada player picked him out magnificently, and well, yeah, Kamara is saying, I told you so. It was just a matter of time for Waterhouse. 1-0 to the blue and yellow.
Just too easy. It's almost like they came to a standstill, Montego Bay United. They just stood and watched him. I mean, not even on the training ground, you'd get more opposition, a little bit more pressure on the training ground. The movement all came after that was in the back of the net, and an inquest will take place, but they won't mind. Brian into double figures, and it's just a case where Montego Bay, they were the ones piling on the pressure just now, and he looks like a genius just now.
Kemar taking it all in. 33rd minute strike for Javane Bryan, and now moves past Justin Dunn, moves ahead of Justin Dunn into sole leadership at the top of the scoring charts in the Premier League. He has 10 to Dunn's 9. And Waterhouse, well,
you could say it was against the run of play, but boy, Montego Bay United didn't play just now.
21 goals on the season now for Waterhouse. And this lead in a live table takes them into a playoff spot. They move into 6th ahead of Dumble Holden.
And I think when the inquest is completed, Trimmingham would probably be the culprit there. I think he was the closest there and just stood and watched.
I'm a bit surprised though, because it's the Wellington brothers playing in the wing-back positions. And yeah, definitely a disappointment there. That looked like Renardo who would have been playing in that left-back role, but what the rotation that happened. Anyway, Waterhouse driving inside again. Here is Rivaldo Mitchell, has the skill. Mitchell onto the left foot. Mitchell over the top. Hasn't scored so far this season, Rivaldo Mitchell. A player who has promised so much. And still waiting for that level of production that is expected since his glory days with Wolmer's at the high school level.
Yeah, always rising that shot. But one of the things that is telling here is that every time Waterhouse comes forward, they look like scoring. In the early stages, they cooled down a bit as the rain came down. But every time they go at this defense line, they look like scoring, Chris. It looks suspect for Montego Bay United, and that's the area for them that they'll have to work better at. So maybe what needs to happen for the moment, maybe just too easy to get at that back four, and a lot more protection needs to be given from front to middle to try and prevent those balls coming at the back four.
Yeah, and even though they have improved their goal scoring, Mobe, they still just conceded, well, now 23 goals in the season, and their goal difference actually in the negative at -3. So that's been a big problem, conceding more than they're scoring. And as I said, a lot of times that level of disorganization in the back line, giving up simple goals. And, well, I don't think you could have had a worse case of miscommunication in the back. The way Brian was just allowed.
You go to miss, there was a lack thereof. Because it just, there was no way.
And the ball it was a hanging delivery.
Yeah, it wasn't like
there
whipped
for so
in.
long.
Boy, I tell you, that one will be hard to figure out in terms of what went through there.
I think even Brian was shocked. Good for him that he kept his concentration through all that. He must have been wondering, hold on, how come the breeze is so cool?
I'm surprised he didn't turn around to look at referee Perry to ask if the whistle went.
Good turn there by Gunn, but he's going to be double teamed. Out for a goal kick. Not much support for him in that left-sided area. Players starting to warm up already for Montego Bay. As we said, depth added to their squad. 3 players in the starting lineup, and in the squad today, no Jordan Fletcher, no Courtney Allen, left out of the squad. Both players.
I think the Waterhouse fan there was saying Fletcher is back, but that didn't make a difference. Well, he's back, but not on the pitch. Maybe he could have made a difference out there.
Well, more depth in this Mobe unit now, and they have lots of work to do. Lovely skill. Oh, Rivaldo Mitchell. Nearly finding his way into the back of the net. And wins a corner.
That just epitomized what I've been saying about this Montego Bay United defence. Every time Waterhouse come forward, whether it's individual like Mitchell there, or they're teaming up or creating numbers up in the wide areas, it's just too easy, just as the goal was.
Good power behind the strike from Mitchell, maybe a little bit too central with it, but good work. Winding his way in between players and leaving them behind as well. Lots of foot skill, Rivaldo Mitchell. They have a corner, it will be Denardo Thomas with the delivery. Cleared initially. And yet Shamari Dallas, he'll win a free kick.
That was a silly free kick to give away. He was always going away from goal. No need to make contact. He was facing his own goal. And now you're giving him opportunity to serve it up.
Played early. Dallas. And no chance to clear. Trimming him with the clearance all the way back to Foster. All Montego Bay players were in their own half, all 11 of them. And now it's turned over yet again. Was he in an offside position? I think he was, Brian Brown. It was pretty obvious and an easy call for the officials. One of the easier calls Kemar Gale will have today. FIFA assistant referee as well. Kemar Gale, first assistant. Here go Waterhouse. It's Fletcher and Mitchell so far causing lots of problems, even though Brian got the goal, but those two, especially on the left-hand side, exposing the Mobe defence. No, that's just too easy. Shamar Booth breaks up the play, and now a chance for a transition play, and they move the moving the ball pretty well. There's a skill again from Mitchell, out to Blair, who has already had an assist, and into the area, into the danger zone, but Trimmingham does well. Gibson with a strike, and yet again William Ferreira is down to his right hand side, and you always knew Fletcher was going to go to his left, and they read it.
Well, I guess with that strike showing that Waterhouse, they have recognized that with the slippery surface, they're going to be taking the shots once Mobay United backs off and give them that space.
They just can't seem to keep it, Mobay United. Here they go again. This Leonardo Gibson coming to Waterhouse this season from Mount Pleasant. Cocked a Premier League title last season, and a nice 1-2 go back to Gibson, and that touch was just a little bit too heavy, and it gave Ferreira a chance. And Ferreira did well. He's a difficult goalkeeper to beat, is William Ferreira, the Brazilian, and he's keeping Mobay United in this one.
And I saw an article recently that Brazil has been overtaken by England in producing young talents. Brazil are just producing goalkeepers.
Well, he won't be called into action on that occasion.
No, but yeah, he's living up to that article that I read just recently. But again, I run the risk of sounding like a scratch record, but again, Waterhouse, they just go to that. So porous is the defense unit from Montego Bay United. You wouldn't need a locksmith to get that unit open. Doesn't even need a key at the moment. It's a door without a lock, because here they come again.
Donada Thomas on this occasion, probably asking a little bit too much of Blair on that occasion.
A lot to figure out for Santos, and it's all at the back end, and somewhat, you know, Gordon and Brown up front is looking as if they were getting their coordinates together in terms of their bearings as to where each other was, and they were putting a few combinations together, but at the back it's just not coming together.
Yeah, the Wellington boys being exposed so far in the flank areas. Of course, at the schoolboy level, they won the Da Costa Cup in 2017 with Rossies under Vassal Reynolds, who's now the head coach at Humble Lion. Looking to turn there was Mitchell, but this time he ran out of room.
Ferreira, the outfield player, variety is just not getting that Brazilian flair all together. A few attempts and just not getting past his opponent. Crowd getting on their case because it's progression that they want with this possession.
And it's been frustration for Mobay over the last few years as well. So I think that is building up. And this year, the last couple of performances with 2 wins in a row, they look as if they're probably looking to turn the corner, make a difference.
I'm always wary of that phrase, in turning the corner. I would say to them, there are many corners to turn, so they just turn one.
You just saw Yanni Epstein there and family, chairman of the club, on the new ownership, new leadership. But yeah, it's been a struggle for Mobay. There's Yanni with his hand on cheek, centre of screen. He doesn't look too happy, does he?
Wondering if he's listening to you, Chris.
He did play the game as well. Yanni grew up actually in Manchester, in Mandeville, went to Bel Air High School, played football there, did some track as well, Yanni, and loves his cricket, so quite an all-round athlete. Yeah, loves his sport, Yanni Epstein. And his brothers as well, involved in sport. But yeah, Mobay, still a long way to go if you're looking to get back to the glory days. Parish of St. James hasn't actually seen a champion since 2015-16, which was the last time Mobay won. won 2 titles as Seba United. And you mentioned earlier, Dwight, that
They're
this jersey
like
here,
Seba,
they're looking like Seba. They
Not
won
playing like them. I mean, when we say looking, I don't want the fans out there in TV land to think that we're saying this is how Seba used to play. Just their attire looks like a Seba of old.
Seba won the 2 titles in 86-87 and 96-97, 10 years apart. And then changed names to Mobe United. Of course, Mobe's titles 2013-14 and 2015-16. Here is Donata Thomas driving forward. Their club, Waterhouse, have won 2 Premier League titles themselves, 1998 and 2005-2006. Here's Rivaldo Mitchell, who seems to have a strong hold on this Mobe defence. Well, that's dangerous, and that should have been a second goal. It fell to the boot of Andre Fletcher on his preferred left-hand side. And I'm sorry to say, but that should have been number 7 on the season for Waterhouse. It's number 15.
It won't get it much easier than that. And he was set up by a Montego Bay United defender. Just look at it.
Wellington again.
Yeah, striker would have been proud. A strike partner would have been proud for that pass.
Not sure you can hear the fans saying as well, I can't believe he set the man.
And Fletcher with 6 should have made it 7 there on the season.
Yeah.
Probably didn't realize he had more time.
Probably
was surprised by it coming across to him as well, because no doubt seeing it go into the defender, was probably looking for that ball to be headed out of the 18-yard box.
Yeah, I thought Wellington would have looked to head the ball towards the touchline instead.
Yeah.
Probably a back header. But instead, set Fletcher nicely, who didn't make the most of it. And as we said, on the 30th of October, when they did meet, all 3 goals for Waterhouse came in the first half. And this time, we've only seen 1 in the first half. Alexi Perry has seen enough of it. And Waterhouse, no surprise, their goal scorer, Javane Bryan, their leading goal scorer, into double figures. 10 on the season now for the Waterhouse number 9. And that goal came in the 33rd minute. It's the difference between these 2 teams. Mobe United playing at home in front of their fans at the Montego Bay Sports Complex have work to do as they go into the dressing room. It is Waterhouse 1, Mobe United 0 at half-time. The home of champions, well, La Liga on SportsMax 2. Almeria versus Alaves, live on Friday at 3 p.m. 4th in the Eastern Caribbean. La Liga also on SportsMax 2. Sevilla against Osasuna, live on Saturday at 10:50 a.m. 11:15 in the Eastern Caribbean. And then look at this, Mallorca against Real Betis on Saturday as well at 3 p.m. 4 o'clock ECT. Lots of action on in the La Liga. Right here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex, it's Waterhouse who have the lead against the home team, Montego Bay United, 1-0. After 45 minutes, Waterhouse there in their full blue with yellow trim, looking to do the double over Mobe United this season, of course executing a 3-0 win back on the 30th of October, which had a Javane Bryan brace on that day. He's already scored the lone goal in this one. And yeah, the defense line, they need to improve their communication. I guess they're starting out the second half on the right footing Dwight Jeremiah, who is still with me. A real conference between the back four, and it was, well, all at sea during that goal in the 33rd minute.
That sea is probably too close. I don't think they were on this little rock, Jamaica, because really and truly they were non-existent on that goal. And even so, for a lot of other plays that Waterhouse came forward with, they were really out of it. And the two persons who came into the squad late have been replaced, and two substitutes coming onto the park from Montego Bay United. Rashid Brown is out. The two Browns that came in are out. Number 25 and number 8 been taken out, replaced by McDonald
And President de St.
Lucia.
One of those players that was brought in the transfer window. Former Bay United. Gregson President.
They made the changes there. We'll look to see if there's anything adjustment at the back, because that's where they've been having all this issue. But maybe, as I said before, it's about preventing it reaching that back four, and maybe the adjustments further up the park. Here's the confirmation.
President on for Brown, Rashid Brown, who was missing in that first half, and there's Siobhan McDonald, who's come on for Dion J. Brown. Very active in the opening, say 10 to 15 minutes, Dion J. Brown in that left-hand area.
Yeah.
But yeah, so talented, Siobhan McDonald, a part of a successful era for Cornwall College.
So much so too.
Lifting the Champions Cup as well.
So talented. Started the season playing for Montego Bay United in a forward position, playing as a centre forward, a number 9. But even in the game,
I think that was a mistake, though.
It was a mistake, because it was corrected about by the time the second half was to come around.
Definitely a midfielder, and a very talented one. Still looking to see him produce more, especially at this level. And I think with his kind of talent, he should be in the starting line.
Didn't get going when he was at Harbourview. Then he went on a spell, I think at Cavalier, and then
went on loan. Was it Double Holding, I think, for a while? McDonald?
He went on loan, but no, not. I don't
think
it was
at Harbourview, but
I think it was Cavalier. I stand corrected on that, but you can double check that for me. And no, he's back in Montego Bay.
Anyhow, Mobay with the possession and looking to
Cavalier was forward. More, but Montego Bay will want to give their fans something early in this half. Get back on level pegging would be a start, just to be a little bit more solid in defence.
Yeah. Did have a conference at the start of the second half, the two Wellington brothers, alongside Trimmingham.
Quite fitting that they did, because, as I said, they weren't on the same wavelength.
Not at all. Good work there. Referee Alexi Perry getting in the way. And now here goes Rivaldo Mitchell. He's been a handful for the defence line, but they do well. Correa, the Brazilian, comes away with it to McDonald. It actually was Portmore United that he went to on loan.
As I said, no, Cavalier or Portmore.
Yeah, when he left Harbourview. Siobhan McDonald, but back in his home parish. Still not forcing his way into the starting lineup.
Similar thing when he went to Portmore, went straight into the starting, and then he became a player, a squad player, so to speak. Just hasn't really gotten out of gear in terms of what he was showing at schoolboy football level.
Very good pass of the ball, good vision about him as a midfielder. He's one of those midfielders that can really unlock a defence with his passing, and that's what Mobay will be hoping for, especially to bring into play the two senior forwards in Brian Brown and Wayne Gordon.
Well, he's certainly the one that could probably do what the Santos wants, which is to pass the ball.
Well, here's Denada Thomas. We know about his passing as well. Out wide now to Gibbison. And yeah, that was a bit dramatic from Gibbison, and he won't win anything there. Back to Ferreira. William Ferreira has been a good find for this Mobay unit. Good goalkeeper from what we've seen so far this season.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more protection from the players in front of him.
Free kick for Waterhouse. A smile on the face of Brian Brown. Let's look at it here. Goes for the ball, climbs over Brown. I can't say that Brown did much wrong there. Elvis Wilson looking to climb over Brown.
The fact is that Brown, I think that where they made that call is that you don't seem to go for the ball, but he chose not to go for it.
Well, both players with the eye on the ball.
Yeah.
I think nothing wrong by what Brian Brown was doing. Stood his ground. Elvis Wilson is looking to climb the tree and falls over. I think that's his problem. $50 minutes gone in this one. The difference still a Javane Bryan strike or header in the 33rd minute of play.
I dare say you should have free header to it.
Here is Wellington looking to get forward. As on the captain's armband, took it over from Rashid Brown, and there will be a free kick to Mobay United here in the wide left area. Wayne Gordon has pulled wide quite a bit after the first, say, 15 minutes, maybe looking for space, Gordon.
Yeah, you see, he needs to move because you don't want to stand still and be an easy target, but
he somewhat nullifies the left-hand side of the attack as well.
However, his best chance came from him going out and into out run and then getting that pass from his strike partner, Brown, where Foster had to come up with a good save. Just trying to not be so static, I guess. But you probably don't want your striker having to go out wide as often as he has been doing so. And I think they're trying to...
Ferreira with the free kick, as he usually does. The Mobay crowd hoping to find a goal here, and it's towards the near post and well cleared by Elvis Wilson. Will be a corner.
I think for the most part, though, Ferreira's free kick is the case that he's been too flat with those service.
Here's Ferreira, needs a better delivery, the Brazilian. This one is a better delivery, but Foster is there and he's fouled as well. Barged into from Trinidad, who really doesn't control his body very well, does the Trinidad and Tobago national.
You're right with that, because couldn't get it moving to go close to Bryan with that free header, resulting in a goal. I think he's trying to make amends. Did get on the end of a Ferreira service in the first half.
So Leonardo Gibson picking up a yellow card. Actually, for dissent, it wasn't about the challenge, but had too much to say to referee Perry and went into the book. The second player we've seen booked today. Break in play as Foster got treatment. Waterhouse with the possession and the lead here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Long travel for the Waterhouse team. Say approximately 3 hours, but if you were to include the traffic that Dwight Jeremiah experienced, add another hour to that, so it would have been 4.
I think they got here maybe just before that. Lucky them.
Telling me.
You got a bit of it as well, I guess.
Full brunt. Anyhow, they have adjusted well. It wasn't much of a travel for Mobay United, but their first half performance looked like they were rather half asleep. Here they go, trying to make a difference now, driving forward. The crowd gets excited. 1-2 play, chance here for Brown, and Kemar Foster does well again. lucky in terms of how the pass got to Brown. Didn't expect it, and did actually get a toe poke, but Kemar Foster can smile about it now.
Was quick to come off his line, Foster, and it was the other way around this time.
Yeah,
and
that was
just
sloppy from Wilson.
Yeah, just went through his leg, Wilson, and Brown just couldn't get on the end of it, just running away from him. But Foster was quick off his line.
Wilson smiling, but you just can't make those kind of mistakes there. You have to keep your eye on the ball, and it certainly wasn't a googly, as we would say.
You're hell-bent on keeping cricket a part of this. And a lot of the West Indian fans are just not liking it at the moment. Some advice coming from player to coach. Santos nodding the head in approval or an agreement. I just see some movements.
Did
the experienced player giving the advice.
Yeah. Neither does Santos. Of course, this is his second stint as Montego Bay manager. Did have the reins back in 2010, 2011. During that time. And he did say he would be busy in the transfer window, and he was.
Not coming together just yet, though. Especially at the back. Work to be done.
Although he may argue the first match after those transfers, it was a 3-0 win, but yes, it was against the bottom of the table opponent in Lime Hall.
That's what I'm saying.
Kept a clean sheet, which would have supported the fact of the defenders that he brought in the two Trinidadian players. Hospitales as well as Trimingham. But then, not only that, but also adding players at the attacking end, and Owain Gordon did get on a score sheet as well in that 3-0 win. Disappointment here for Siobhan McDonald. He is coming off injured. Wow, after just coming on, McDonald, and that's very disappointing for the Montego Bay number 7, Johan Weatherly, his replacement, who has already scored 1 goal this season. Weatherly and McDonald now 24 years of age. That's a disappointing moment from him. Did have his struggles with injury when at Harbourview and Portmore United, especially at Portmore, and yeah, off again. Here go Waterhouse. That will be a foul for sure.
Yeah, definitely shoving the back, and I don't know if Jamaica hasn't come with that. In England, he would have gotten a yellow card there for showing.
Because that would have been his second yellow card.
Yeah.
Owain Gordon getting back and doing the challenge. A bit of a striker's challenge there. No finessing it.
He may have a case for the yellow card to have been shown. It's stopping a promising attack, you'd feel, based on where it's at in the park.
But you never like to see that, where
no,
players
not
go
showing
to the
for
officials
it. No,
and
not
asking
at all.
for another player to be booked.
But maybe he thinks it's a spa moment, so
there's
but I'm not justifying it.
There's not a lot I like about English officiating, but I will say that that's something I would take from him. I like that fact. The players come and ask for that, put them in the book themselves. Anyhow, free kick for Waterhouse towards the near post, dangerous. And lots of Mobe players behind it, and it came off a torso. It might have been Ferreira in the end. They give it away yet again. A bit scrappy.
And the performance from Montego Bay United is much like their season has gone, where it hasn't been consistent. You know, they have a few wins. You say they had a couple of wins just recently.
Yeah, 2 wins in a row for them and a draw. So the most positive part of the season for them so far.
The last 5 games are matching that of Waterhouse in terms of points, and that's a little shot that's blocked that was coming in.
But yeah, this performance has been disappointing so far. But coming into this match, you would have to say this has been the best part of their season, Mobe United, because as you said, 3 matches unbeaten has been their longest run.
Yeah.
In terms of that, this was a strike from Ronaldo Mitchell, and well, let me tell you, Trimingham, hands alongside the body, but trying to stretch the body towards it, was lucky. And then that is on target. That's a goal. And it is Javane Bryan yet again, is it? Or is it Rivaldo Mitchell? It is Mitchell. So he's off the mark this season. Threatened with the shot before that, won the corner. And Rivaldo Mitchell, who's been busy on the left-hand side of the Waterhouse attack, doubles their lead in the 60th minute. Waterhouse 2, Mobe 0. And the job just got harder, Dwight Jeremiah.
Well, it's looking like it's going to be deja vu for them. They lost 3-0 the first time they met. But there you go. Lovely ball inside, and yeah, but you expected. You spoke about Ferreira earlier, that he has been good for them. In the end, no man land, and yeah, elation for Marcel Gale there, just trying to control the bench and their celebration. But again, 2 goals, and he will have to hold his hand up, Ferreira, as being the culprit in that occasion. But it has just been too easy for Waterhouse to get on the score sheet tonight.
Leonardo Thomas with his 2nd assist of the season from the corner delivery. But I agree with you. I think he got that wrong, did William Ferreira, and ended up on the wrong side of the attacker. So hence had to play second fiddle. Well, I think if he had gone strong, you would have taken off the head of Mitchell, but as a goalkeeper, maybe that's what's necessary. No offside. I thought that was a bit strange. I thought Ryan was in an offside position.
And for the fans out there, just to a disclaimer, I know you don't mean that literally in taking his head off, but yeah, should have been more forceful and caused some form of discomfort for Mitchell in the end. Just late, I think, was just too late. And that was a late challenge. It's always funny to see the players when they do those stuff, always just showing Booth that, hey, I got the ball. But I guess they know what they're doing, just trying to get into the head of the referee.
Trying to deflect, but right decision from Alexi Perry. Shamar Booth into the book. So Waterhouse, well, they've certainly been enjoying this fixture this season. Obey United haven't been able so far to score in them. 3-0 on the 30th of October, and now 2-0 they lead. We're just under half an hour to go.
Yeah, they have enough time, but on the evidence of what we've seen before us, just not looking like they can really trouble this Waterhouse
nice pass
defense.
over the top, yeah. Finds Jefferson. Jefferson inside, and Brian with a strike well wide in the end. Got that wrong, Brian. Looked at first as if he was going to kick that towards the far corner, and I wonder if he kicked the ground actually before he kicked the ball.
I think Jefferson was asking him to play him back again, just play that drop pass in. I think he was trying to catch Ferreira out, probably giving the eyes to go across and see if he could sneak it in at the near post.
I'm not sure which player in the world would have played a back heel there to a play which he couldn't even pick up in his rear view mirror. I think Brian did the right thing. Leading goal scorer in the league with an opportunity like that on your preferred foot.
Yeah, they're going to shoot all the time.
Oh yeah, and aiming for the far corner was the right decision. The execution just not up to scratch. So Waterhouse now make it 22 on the season in terms of goals. As it stands, as we said, they'll be heading into the top 6, into 6th position, and they'll bump Dunbeholden out of the playoff spots. So this would be a big win for Waterhouse, and would also increase their goal difference up to 7.
Yeah, Waterhouse, yeah, their goal difference a +1, as we see the infringement here. Well, not a lot.
Not a lot in it, but I think
but
fair enough.
See, yeah, you can see. You can
overuse
see
of the arm, and then put in a playoff balance.
And running as well.
I'd like to agree with Alexi Perry there with that call. Gregson, president,
as you said,
guilty on that occasion.
Will jump into that top 6. And they were the only team outside the top 6 with a positive goal difference.
Yeah. In fact, Dunbeholden, they'll be bouncing out, actually has a negative goal difference and is still in the top 6.
Yeah, we're the only team in the top 6 with a negative one.
-3. They've really struggled in terms of goal scoring. Then Hyde, in quite a few interviews, spoke about the fact that he was concerned with their defensive issues, but I think 13 goals in 15 games might be more of an issue.
Yeah, because when you look at the rest of the league and the goals conceded, they've conceded 16.
Which isn't bad.
No, when you look at it,
it's kind of in
15 games, it's like a goal a game, just over.
Yeah. But only 13 goals scored.
Yeah,
that's a bigger deal.
That's
for
under
me.
a goal a game.
Bay United, they have done better in terms of goals. They have scored 20, and they need to find 21 and 22 if they're going to get anything from this game. That ball was testing the defense of Waterhouse, but cleared.
Just not showing enough endeavours and creativity in the final third, Montego Bay United.
And then giving up careless goals.
Yeah.
That has been the
just a recipe for failure.
Season.
It's been a bad...
It's frustrated Neda dos Santos as well.
You know, the fans haven't seen football here for a while, but have come out here, and they've always gotten the support, I have to say, each time that they have these games played here, a Monday night fixture or a game televised. The fans, they do come out, but they're not being treated to the entertaining, attacking, or even just a decent, balanced performance from their team. But, like you said, this would be their first lost in 3 games. We're chasing 3 wins in a row coming into this game, so not all doom and gloom. And they have new players, so if they gel, it gets better. And in fact, it's not so far from the top 6 when they will go, because they were just a point behind Waterhouse, although 2 positions lower. Waterhouse started the day on what, 19? Montego Bay United 18.
Yeah, Mobay in 9th position with 18 points behind, yeah, as I said, Waterhouse and Veer. Waterhouse 7th, Veer 8th. Veer, of course, picking up a draw in their match against Harbour View. Mobay started the week, I think, in 8th position. But yeah, with Veer getting that draw, they skipped them. Well, Mobay United did say that they've been doing a lot of work on the field here at Catherine Hall. It actually has done pretty well, but what they haven't done is rectify their home form enough. They'll have a throw though. Rohan Weatherly working hard on the right hand side. A forced change saw Siobhan McDonald, the 24-year-old substitute, having to come off due to injury after just coming on. Gave an opportunity to Weatherly. Mobay United quite frustrated so far in terms of their team's performance, trailing by 2 goals, and you can actually hear them in the stands banging and being very vocal. And I get to understand, Leger, that you're in the company of one of them.
Now I'm here with a Mobay United fan, Renevy fan spirit as per usual. The second half it's going much better, but you're here to get that all-important goal.
Well, right now we see Waterhouse kind of control the midfield, and we're not playing so good in this match, like the last match we played. Because some of the players that should be in the squad today are out. I don't know if it's why the reason they are out, but they're out.
Which players specifically are you talking about?
Well, we have Fletcher who out, we have Pardy who out, and another 2 players which I can't remember their name right now. But there are 4 important players.
Yeah, and you've been on a good run of form. You've been playing really well. You got 2 wins. But even without those players, are you confident you can turn it around?
Well, Waterhouse is really playing very good now. And Waterhouse is putting a better passes together. More faster on the ball. So let's hope for the best.
Yeah, but you know, this Mobay United team, you have an international coach, you have some international players as well. You've brought back some real key figureheads to a Mobay United system. We talk about Fletcher, Jordan Fletcher, of course, and of course you have some other players coming that used to play for the team. Do you think that your team can make a late top 6 push?
Well, I hope we can make it to the top 6 because that's what really we aim is. But we have to keep winning. We can't keep just win 2 matches and lose another match because we are then too far in points right now. So in order for we go to the top 6, we have to start win some ball, win some games. Couple games keep on going.
You know, I can assume, I see you in your jersey, I can assume you've been a fan for quite some time.
Yeah, from the side which Premier League, from SEBA days, I'm a fan of this side. And even they're done, I'm still a fan.
So you've seen them win trophies already. What's your confidence level? You think that you can get back to that level?
Yes, man. I got time to watch 2 final and watch a final with them here. So I know that if we don't reach top 6 this year, we know the next year we're going to win the trophy.
And you think, just to wrap you up with one more question. You're back here, you're back in the Catchinall Stadium. What do you think that your feeling is like? Are you happy to be back technically home?
Well, it's nice in the stadium again, but the field needs some attention. Because if you look on the field, Mobile United field is a much better field than this, so the field needs some attention.
Well, thanks for your time. Hopefully Mobile United can get an equalizer in this game.
Well, I'm not glad if we got away with it.
Yeah, lots of work for Mobile United to do. And he thinks they're on the road to lifting the title maybe next season. Well, he's quite ambitious, it must be said.
Well, a lot
as Mobile United usually are.
A lot can happen in a single season,
This is true.
Some acquisition of top quality players. Who knows? He's asking for some miracle tonight. We saw things coming down from the heaven, but I don't think anything came down to be unwrapped from Montego Bay United. It's really a difficult night, has been a difficult night for them, and I don't think whatever prayers he would have sent up is going to reach up in time.
Yeah, he spoke about a couple of players that he was hoping to see in the squad. Download the SportsMax app today. Download it from your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And take in the home of champions with any of the sporting content that you're interested in. International cricket, Carabao Cup football, EFL Championship football in England, the Champions League, horse racing, motor racing, field hockey, WTA tennis, Premier League football in Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, 2 of the players on this Mobile team did play Premier League football in Trinidad. And well, they will have to do some defending here. The Brazilian Correa, not happy with the call. Lucas Correa has been one of the influential players in that defensive midfield role for Mobile United. And it was Fletcher who was driving forward.
I guess that was really nice.
Well, that's not even a
it's from behind, but
Fletcher,
I think the force.
I think Fletcher lost control of the ball.
There was a lot of force with that.
So far ahead of him, and he realized he wasn't going to gain the possession again. So
I'm on the side of Montego Bay United there. I don't think that needed to have been a call.
I think Alexi Perry should have let that go. Certainly not a touch.
Physical.
I mean, a touch. I mean, it's a contact sport.
Yeah. And what would make matters worse is if they were to convert from this. It would be, as the Jamaican proverb say, rub salt into the wound.
Andre Fletcher will take it himself, cracks it on target. Well saved by Ferreira, and the pace of it actually forced him to take a step backwards.
And I was right behind it though, positioning was quite good.
Mobile United, no surprise that they take it quickly. Weatherly inside looking for, wins a foul, does President Gregson. President, 27 years of age now, plays for the St. Lucian national team as well. We've seen over the last couple of seasons about, I would say, half a dozen St. Lucian players in the league spread across it. We saw Melvin Doxley yesterday with Mount Pleasant. He won the Premier League with Cavalier.
And he was at Mount Pleasant at the time when they won it as well.
So he's won 2.
Yeah.
Ferreira dinking it towards the back post. Good delivery, good save, Costa, and then the follow-up is into the back of the net. From one Brazilian to another, Ferreira to Correa, and just like that, he gets his 3rd of the season. and the stands go wild. Montego United half the lead, and they're still in this one in the 75th minute.
Well, I did say early on that when Waterhouse is playing the way they are and from open play, I think set plays were always going to be the best chance for Montego Bay United to unlock this stubborn Waterhouse defence, and that has been the case. For the first time, Ferreira, he has gotten some lift, some trajectory on that delivery. He was just too flat before that, 2 or 3 times before that, but this time got the right trajectory, and he latched on to the end of it, Carrera, and he's now putting Montego Bay United and their fans in ecstasy because they feel now that they can get back into this one. They say 2-0 is always one of the most dangerous leads in football. You think you're well aware, but the opponent just knows one goal and he's back in it. But everything, as we've called it before, Chris, is the reason why Montego Bay is back in it. We said set plays would have been their best option, and their free kick taker, Ferreira, was just too flat with his delivery. This time, got some height and just put it in a position and say, get on to the end of it.
And credit to Montego United, they committed a lot of players into the box to challenge the defensive abilities of Waterhouse.
Sometimes their best means comes out of desperation because you're 2-0 behind. What else to do?
And so far in the second half, we've seen a couple moments where the defense has not looked as sure. From Waterhouse perspective, Elvis Wilson with a couple of mistakes.
And we really couldn't tell how good Waterhouse defence was on the night because Montego Bay United had hardly tested. The few times that they've put something together, they did work Foster. So,
well, Foster is beaten. And disappointment for him, but neither the Santos has letting O'Shea Nation know that he's watching his watch. This time he needs to have this time.
He thinks he has a sniff at it now. And just over about 13 minutes or so to go, he thinks he might need a little bit more.
And at home with the fans behind him, that 12th man, always a big deal.
Well, maybe they need to get a little bit more vocal.
Still 14 minutes plus stoppages.
Maybe just to lift them.
Here they go again. This is the goal scorer, Correa. Out wide to Weatherly. Weatherly inside the area. Opportunity, not the best touch. Was it Gordon on that occasion? And he had space, you know.
But was a little bit too square, I feel, in receiving that one. Because maybe just on the half turn, he could have just tried and redirect that goalwards.
Hospital is trying to go along the turf. Can't beat the defence line on this occasion.
But yeah, just
maybe get back possession.
And a little bit more pressing high up the park.
Here's Weatherly, twisting and turning, does well. Weatherly into the area. It's shallow, but finds a red boot. Towards him, that's over the top. What a chance for Montego United again. The St. Lucian president into the area, but his left-footed strike was not accurate enough. And he put it over the top. Yet to score in the Jamaica Premier League is a 27-year-old. And the turn was good, but the strike wasn't.
Yeah, it was really good work from him, President. And I tell you what, had he hit the back of the net with that one, they would have crowned him President here in Montego Bay United, because they were really looking for that one, expecting that one to have the net bulging. But yeah, just flew over. Foster was gracious to see that one fly over the net, over the bar rather. So Montego Bay just showing a little sustained pressure there.
The president slash chairman of the club is here watching, and I can tell you got a couple more grey hairs after that strike went over the top.
Probably think he
Johnny Epstein
giving up the presidency to that president on the park.
Might have lost a couple of strands as well.
And the old cliche in football, what a difference a goal makes.
They now have the momentum to Mobe and looking to come forward. Nice passes here to Hospitalis. I'm not sure that pass would have found his designated teammate, and he'll win a corner.
And even again, a lot of difference here for Montego Bay, I have to point out, Chris, because in the first half the attack didn't have the balance with the width. We spoke about it earlier, not being able to switch from side to side. Now they're getting all 5 vertical zone occupied in their attacking play.
And we spoke about the fact that in the Premier League so far, when Waterhouse have been exploited, it has come from wide areas. But Mobe, in that first match in October, didn't do that. They looked to go through the spine, which is what they were doing in the first half without success.
And it didn't work.
Now the goal came from the wide area. Now we're seeing players get forward in the wide areas, and Waterhouse look vulnerable. Here's Ferreira again from the dead ball.
They want to make a substitution, Waterhouse, but they won't do it on the corner kick. I think Devontae Walker is expected to come in for Mitchell. But
they're making it, you know.
Yeah, well, Mitchell, if he's not in that defensive position in terms of in the box, then I suspect
they're telling Mitchell to stay on, so you're right.
Yeah, you don't normally, as a coach, I wouldn't. So I was surprised that you're saying that they would.
He's not helping defensively, though, Rivaldo Mitchell.
But it falls out. Yeah, well, he's gotten into
Here
the
is
box
Ferreira
now.
towards the near post, and he needed a little bit more depth, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a goal kick, and I just think, as I said, just too flat with a lot of his deliveries, and the one time he got some height, then it resulted in a goal. You felt he would have given them a better chance here.
Yeah, towards the near post. It looked like it came off Gordon. Gordon thinks it was off the defender. Alexi Perry didn't agree, and I think Perry was right.
My first glance of it felt that they had a case, Montego Bay United, but Perry was better placed than I am.
The case has been filed.
Cold case.
Here's a change. Rivaldo Mitchell, scorer of the second goal for Waterhouse and his first of the season, and is off.
Was one of the better players for Waterhouse.
Yes, I agree.
Up to the point when he came off. Yeah,
created lots of problems on the strike as well. So there's Devontae Walker who comes on for him. More of a day. Adds more defensively, especially within the middle of the park, does Walker.
Nicoy Christian looking to make his entrance, and we know what he can do as an orchestra in the middle of the park.
Yeah, does control the tempo of the game. Shamar Booth, who is much more defensive than Nicoy Christian, is off, and
somebody else will have to do the boot work.
Yeah, I think Walker will sit a little bit more,
and
Christian will look to bring Javane Bryan alive in terms of his passing ability and his vision.
And Montego Bay will
not
not
been
want
so
to give him much
consistent
time
this
on the
season,
ball.
Nicoy Christian, but does control possession well.
Yeah, he was the assist king 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, 14 he had that season.
Yeah.
Here goes Denada Thomas, who has been so quiet today. I've always said when Denada Thomas plays very well for Waterhouse, they often win, or all the time, or most times win. Very influential player, and we know what he does when he has a ball at his feet, but he's been hot and cold this season for sure. Here goes Jibison, using his skill. Jibison on the right hand side, looking to go inside the box, and not the best clearance from Wellington. And Jibison's touch lets him down.
Yeah, frustrated there, just hacking that ball away. But again, Montego Bay United just turning over the possession a little bit too easy there.
There's Rivaldo Mitchell, who gets the rest now. Is he a big contender for man of the match?
And that's why I mentioned how good he was in it. And he got a goal, and he was really, most of the time,
first half, very influential.
Yeah,
yes.
was pretty much the
and then the goal came in the
main
second half.
threat for Waterhouse in that first half. And then his goal came in the second half, so he did make his contribution. Before the goal, had a wicked shot blocked.
It would be very pleasing to Damian Gordon and Fuzzy Gale, because Mitchell was a bench player for most of the season, so now getting a start, he has justified that.
And also putting in a really good shift.
Yes. Anyhow, Mobe still feel like they can get something from this game. It's with President. He's seen a lot of the ball since coming on. Into the area. Chance here for Gordon! Owain Gordon, who was a Golden Boot winner in 2015-2016. The last time that this team lifted the Premier League, has found the back of the net for the second match running. And Mobe United are all square in the 84th minute. This time the President was accurate with the pass, and Gordon was clinical with the finish.
Well, it's a good combination there. And again, when you look at the goal coming in, just look at it outside here in the wide area, and just look at the delivery. That's what I'm talking about. You know, just giving the Waterhouse defenders something to look at. That's a poor defensive header coming in there for Waterhouse. It was their number 5 in Walker, who had just come onto the park, didn't deal with that one well, and it flicked it on into the part of Gordon, and he didn't need a second invitation. Just look at that header, just didn't get onto it well enough, and he struck that well with that left foot. And with that strike, Montego Bay United is all level and everything to play for here.
They have the ball yet again and driving forward. It's with Brian Brown. Owain Gordon in the 83rd, second of the season, 48th in his Premier League career.
So that change for Walker there. Not the best entrance into this encounter. Yes, had to go deep because Nicoy came on. And just that was poor with that header. But again, the delivery into the box, and Montego Bay United here, they sense the kill.
Gordon getting deep to collect, working hard. 32 years of age now.
We spoke about them going wide. This time he received the ball within the frame of the goal and was able to finish, Chris. So that's what we're talking about earlier. You mentioned it when he went wide early in the second half. In the first half, he was put wide. I said early in my commentary that I didn't feel that they would want those balls played out wide. But to feet, that one landed right on his foot.
I think what was happening as well is in the first half, none of his teammates were pulling wide, so he felt as if he needed to pull wide to get the ball. But no, with President and company coming on, and President pulling wide, it allows him to stay inside the box.
Now Ferreira, hopefully he would have learned to now give some height on this one. Yes, there's some height.
Chance for Gordon again, but Foster is there.
Just a bit too close to Foster. But yeah, that has troubled Waterhouse throughout the night. Every time that they've gotten a decent delivery, even in the first half, he got one with some height. And I think it was Trimmingham, that got onto the end of it and really got a decent save out of Foster. So he just needs to get those deliveries bang on target.
Well, that delivery was definitely a better one from Ferreira and forced the best out of Foster. The rain is back with us here at the Montego Bay Sports Complex, adding even another element to this fixture that has really gotten lively in the second half. Now into the area again, this time from Weatherly. And Waterhouse with a chance to clear all 11 Waterhouse players in their own half. Up against it now, and Mobe showing a fight that we didn't see back on the 30th of October when they went down by 3-0.
Nor did we see in the first half. But also, you talk about some stuff that has happened with Montego Bay with President coming on. But also you see that they have prevented a lot of the balls getting to the back four now.
Here's President, nice pass out towards Wellington. Now to Gordon. Gordon went the wrong way. Gordon should have cut in on the left-hand side there.
There was a lot of space in behind him. I think he tried to send the dummy, was faking as if he was going to go there, but the Waterhouse defenders didn't buy it. But I was saying earlier, in the first half, there wasn't much pressure being applied high up.
Into the area. This is a better delivery. Neither dos Santos said he needed depth to his team. He's added depth, and now the changes off the bench are making a big difference as well.
Yeah, the substitutes
Mobe with more options, and now fighting hard in the second half. They've drawn level, and now they're looking for the winner.
Yeah, the more likely are the two teams to win here.
Out from Ferreira.
But I just feel like they have engaged Waterhouse a little bit more from up front to the middle.
The tempo of the game is a lot higher from a Mobe perspective as well. They have increased the tempo of their play, which at times, and we've said this right throughout the Premier League, as a nation, I think that sometimes the Jamaicans, they play way too slow. The league is too slow, you know. But this half, it's been better.
Yeah, it's been better.
Looking to unlock the defence with a pass was Christian. Can't find it.
But we're about 2 minutes out. And you talk about earlier, we mentioned Mitchell as a potential candidate because Waterhouse was winning. And this man in our screen...
you might have to rethink that now.
Most definitely. But Marcel Gale, you know, was happy when that second goal went in, trying to calm his bench down because they were a little bit too jubilant with the celebration. Now it's very calm. He doesn't have to do any work to try and calm them down.
Gordon fighting hard. Gordon has had a good game as well, you know. Had to work very hard in the first half off of scraps. Came into the second half, he's willing to drop deep.
And he was a threat because he pulled out some save from Foster in that first half. So he's put his hand up now as a player that we would look at for player of the game.
Yeah, and willing to get back and put in a defensive shift as well. Nice 1-2 play. It's now with Hospitalis, the Trinidad and Tobago national. Nice ball into the area, but a little bit too deep, and it's not going to stay in play.
And if it was that deep, then you expect it to curl a little bit back.
Here's a SportsMax app moment, brought to you by, of course, the SportsMax app. Download it today from your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, and it's the equalizer. President across the area. It took a deflection, but Owain Gordon Well, that was a scrumptious touch with the right foot just to bring it across his body to his left. And the finish was emphatic for his second of the season. And the 48th in his Premier League career. A smile from Kemar Foster. He could do nothing on that occasion. And just coming across the track to ignite the crowd was Owain Gordon, the 32-year-old. And Mobe, well, they continue their momentum, pushing forward and looking for the winner. For the time being, Waterhouse holding on. The rain has gotten even heavier now.
The producer in my ear just said he's expecting 6 minutes. I think the Santos would have gotten to the fourth official enough. He'll be pleased to see that. Waterhouse though, the fact that it's level, maybe thinking they're under the cost of here.
Waterhouse about to make a change as well. O'Shea Nation has confirmed as well that it is 6 additional minutes.
Kenny Hyde, the player looking to come in.
There's the 6 minutes being shown from O'Shea Nation. They also want to make a change to Waterhouse. So don't let that number 6 fool you.
No,
Six is already off.
It's red in 6, but it also is green in 6. So
yeah. Here goes Denarda Thomas. Out wide and the flag goes up from Kemar Gale, the assistant. Fletcher went a little bit too early. Frustration for Marcel Fuzzy Gale. Lost in match week 14 to Tivoli Gardens by a goal to nil. And you can just see it on his face there, giving up a 2-goal advantage.
Jimison coming off, and I think O'Shea Nation had 36 up. I think he's on in 39.
Keneal Hyde.
Yeah, just has his 6 and his 9 mixed up.
Just needed to turn it upside down.
Yeah. And like I said, it's a case where we had Mitchell spoken of earlier because of his exploits, but I think at this stage, Montego Bay United, this will feel like a win for them coming from 2 goals down if it stays this way.
The crowd looks pretty calm there, which is surprising.
Yeah, Gordon is, you think they want to just get behind them to get them over that finish line and support them more. Gordon,
4 minutes to go. Into the area now. Brian looking to get that across. Can't do so, comes back to Ferreira.
I think Owain Gordon has really had a good game and could be the player of the game if it stays this way.
Looking to change that strike from distance and well wide, quite ambitious.
But I can agree with his intention,
Brian,
because William Ferreira was off his line, just didn't execute well.
Needed height then if you're going to be Ferreira.
definitely. And maybe he was looking for a skid off the turf to go around him.
Here's Correa, who got the opening goal. Now to Ferreira. That's going to be a free kick. Snapping at the ankles was Nicoy Christian. Ferreira has taken most of the dead balls for Mobe. Can't say he's been more consistent enough with his deliveries. Mobe driving into the area. Alexi Perry stops the play. We're about halfway through added time. Yeah, Marcel Fuzzy-Gale on his bench, can't come off. Damian Gordon rubbing his head.
He's probably wondering, how did we get to this position, having been 2 goals up?
Yeah,
and dominant in the first half.
They would have been sure of 3 points. Now giving up 2 and might have to settle for 1, or will they? Into the area, chance, and from a very acute angle, that strike from Fletcher, which goes over the top. Fletcher had a really good chance in the first half that he should have scored, didn't, and that's probably coming back to haunt them now. Waterhouse at the time, that would have been a 2nd goal early. Anyhow, what a turn that is from Gordon. The 32-year-old Gordon using his strength into the area. Lovely pass. Can't find his strike partner in Brown, but it comes back to Gordon. Ooh, and Gordon bundled off the ball.
No, just got to taste of his own medicine, because it is drive down that line. He did use his strength really well to bounce the defender away.
Here's Hospitalis, battles well. Inside to Brown, a looping ball. Does find Weatherly at the back post.
Foster stopped off coming and had to retreat. Because always curling away from him.
The game is quite open now as Fletcher goes down the left-hand side. Looks for Christian, who for once was in a disagreement with the ball.
I think quite awkward for him. He could have just rolled his ankle because he stepped on the ball. That could be
problematic.
Yeah, it could have had an hyperextension there of ligaments there because, yeah, and you could see his hand up right away. Just look at it here. Well, this is Gordon just trying to get free.
Turning.
Yeah, but yeah, just needed to be firmer with that.
Defending there.
But yeah, well, that replay didn't really show it all. Take it back a little bit and you'd have seen that Nicoy just stepped on that ball as it came across. It was a firm.
Gordon picking up the bounce here.
And you could see based on where the ice pack is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that.
And then landed heavily as well.
That'd be painful. That's a better view. Thanks, producer, for that one. But yeah, Gordon, even with that play just now, making even a greater case for him to be player of the game.
Using all his experience, of course.
And when the game started, you asked the question, with the age of these players, would it be the right fit for Montego Bay? With its finish, I think he answered the question that the experience, if you can give me service and keep me within the frame of the goal, then I will do damage. Because that was a smart finish. He took it on the right neatly. First touch was excellent. It set up the finish.
And you're talking about two previous Golden Boot winners as your strikers.
So they know how to find the back of the net. And when you get to this stage of your career, it's really the experience. And if you can keep them in that 18-yard box or there or thereabout,
they will score.
They will score. What is good, though, is President coming on really had a different dimension to allow him to stay in there, as you pointed out.
Yeah, the St. Lucian. I think he has added more width to their attack, President. 27 years of age, but obviously experience, especially in St. Lucia. Has played all his football in St. Lucia before this, President, and plays for the national team as well. But
and Weatherly too coming in has also been good for Montego Bay.
So that's it. Alexi Perry blows the whistle.
So we go in
on a Wayne Gordon equaliser, earning a point for Mobay United. It is 2-all after 90 minutes. Waterhouse scored early. 2 goals, one from Javane Bryan and one from Rivaldo Mitchell, who got his first of the season. Javane Bryan with his 10th of the season, the only player in double figures so far in the Jamaica Premier League. But then Mobay United, the home team, came roaring back in the second half. First Lucas Correa in the 75th minute, and then Wayne Gordon with the equaliser in the 83rd, earning a point for the hosts. At full time, it's Mobay United 2, Waterhouse 2. So the full match highlights. Alexi Perry, the man in charge of this fixture, was promising to be an exciting one, and it started that way. Andre Fletcher with a delivery towards the near post, but Simpson just couldn't get it on target. That one was on target from Trimingham early, and it took a deflection, and Foster was acrobatic in his save to deny Mobay United a goal. Then Mobay, the two senior forward, putting something together. Bryan to Gordon. Gordon with the strike. It was on target, but Foster did really well to deny him there, coming off the body of Foster and going off the crossbar. And then this moment of dismay for Mobay United. No defending there at the back post, and Javane Bryan, he needed no more of an invitation. The delivery was from Blair, and the finish to the far post was sensible from Waterhouse's number 9, his 10th of the season, and it took just 33 minutes for Waterhouse to be away. Oh yes, Kemar, their long-serving fan, enjoyed that as well. Waterhouse continued to drive forward, boost towards the back post, and this should have been 2-0. Andre Fletcher, in the form he is in, that should have been his 7th of the season, but put it wide, and it would come back eventually to haunt Waterhouse. Then this was the first sign of a defensive mistake. This was from Elvis Wilson, and it nearly played in Brian Brown, who was looking to tow past Foster, who did well. Then this, the second goal from the corner. Denardo Thomas into Rivaldo Mitchell, who got himself in front of William Pereira and opened his account on the season. 2-0 to Waterhouse after 59 minutes. At that point, they thought they had 3 points, but Mobe, they had other ideas. This finish first from Lucas Correa, his third of the season. Saved initially from Kemar Foster. We had a reasonably good game, Foster. But put it back into the business area, and Correa was there to finish with the right boot into the roof, and Foster could do nothing. That was 2-1, and that one came after the 75th minute. And you could see Mobe United growing in confidence and believing. Their fans behind them, the 12th man. And then this moment for Owain Gordon in front of his fans, as he's done so many times before. 48 in his Premier League career, second of the season for the 32-year-old. And Mobe United were all square at 2 and now looking for that winner. Foster could afford a smile because he knew he could do nothing about it, beaten for the second time on the evening. And Owain Gordon just preaching to his fans. Unfortunately for Mobe, they weren't able to come up with a winner. All square after 90 minutes. The lights are shining bright on the finish from Mobe United. 6 shots on target from 8 attempts. 5 on target for Waterhouse. They had 14 attempts. They should have been better with their finishing at times, and they would have put this game to bed early. 26 fouls and 3 yellow cards shown by referee Alexi Perry. Leonardo Jimison, Shamar Booth, the guilty parties for Waterhouse, and of course Darnell Hospitalis for Mobe United. They had 4 saves in Waterhouse, and Montego United with the majority of the possession at 55%. At the Montego Bay Sports Complex, it's all square after 90 minutes. Mobe United 2, Waterhouse 2. Our man of the match is with Dwight Jeremiah.
I mean, it's one of those nights. I mean, with all your experience, you probably would have seen it all. But just tell me what was going through your mind coming out in the second half and having it all to do. And when the second goal went in, what were you thinking?
You know, in the locker room, we already talk about it. You know, we're 2-0 down, and we talk about what we can do to change the game. We talk about how much we can come out and, you know, just leave everything on the pitch, play it like a final. It's the last game of the season. Just give it your all. That was the word in the locker room. We come out and we execute.
For a moment in the commentary box, we were thinking that the way Montego Bay was playing in that first half, it was causing you to go wide too often. But when you're in the frame of the goal, you show that still at 32, the finish has not left you at all. That goal you scored, that first touch was exquisite.
Yeah, you know, it's just the awareness. And Brian already tell me to push back post. When I push back post, the liquor flick, you know, all I have to do is take the first touch, and I'm so grateful for a good first touch, you know. Then the only thing I have to do is just put it in the back of the net.
There's a moment in that first half, you brought out a smart save from Foster. Must have felt that one was going into the back of the net.
Yeah, most definitely. I was trying to go through his legs, but unfortunately he pulled off a great save.
But you have given some life and some hope for Montego Bay United, and all the best going forward. You're showing that with your 48 goal, a Premier League career goal here, you still have it.
Right? Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. So there you have it from our man of the player of the game. 32 years old, but still has it, and rescued a point for this man's team. It must feel like a win for you, De Santos. I mean,
not really. Win is a win. I think we should have won the match in the last 20 minutes, but we didn't do that. And it's fair because they play better the first half, we play better the second half. We cannot complain about that.
Yeah, good you say a fair result, because I was going there. But in the first half, defensively, just seemed to be at sea. There was 2 easy goals given up.
Was the midfield. Actually, our midfield was very open. I mean, and we tried to fix that at second half, at the half time. Mm-hmm. So we improved second half, and we could manage to put a lot of pressure on them, even down 2 goals. And this is merit of the players, you know. Our players never give up. So they go for it, doesn't matter the result, the partial result.
I can attest to that for sure, that they never gave up. And you spoke about the midfield. We did mention that in commentary, that it was just getting too easy to come at the back line. But still with that, you look at that first goal and you felt the defense was just not at it.
Yeah, but you see, when the midfield is playing too open, like we did in the first half, the defenders end up being very exposed. You see, so but in the end of the day, we cannot blame this, that, this sector, that another sector. We win, lose, and draw as a team.
Well, this is your 4th game without a loss. Something to build on, you see.
Yes, I mean we have new players, newcomers. I mean, and they strengthen the team a lot. So this helps to get good results.
Well, let's hope it's good results going forward from here, Coach. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, Montego Bay fans getting a Monday night fixture and certainly did not disappoint in the end. But this man must be disappointed being 2-0 up and to walk away with just a point, throwing away 2 points. That is, it must seem for you.
Yeah, when you look at it, I mean, but nevertheless, I thought we played well. I thought we were in full control of the game. We lost our concentration and we gave up 2 soft goals. You know what I mean? And, that was our accolade our season. We've been giving up goals and we've been giving some silly goals. And tonight, we pay for it tonight.
I think one area you might want to look at as well is the amount of free kicks you gave up in some dangerous area. There was some warning signs in the first half when Ferreira launched a ball in there and Trimmingham got onto the end of it. It was a Ferreira free kick that unlocked and opened the first goal for Montego Bay.
Yeah, I mean, that was the initial, that's the first object we saw in the changing room. And we talk about that, I mean, don't go through the player's back. You stay on the foot, the surface is wet. Let's say, we make some schoolboy errors today.
Missed a chance to go into the top 6. What's your take on it now?
Yes, I mean, the story is already written. We have to move on and, turn our attention back home now to Lime Hall. But nevertheless, we come away with a point.
Well, it's a long trick home, not the type of result you wanted to go on it, but still something to build on. All the best, Coach.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waterhouse giving up a 2-goal advantage and coming away with a point. Well, that somewhat completes match week 15. As you can see, the asterisk beside Arnett Gardens, because that's in the 90th minute and they lead by 4-1. So I think that will be 3 points for the Junglists. But yeah, a big win for Portmore United that took them top of the table for at least an hour and a half before Mount Pleasant completed their 1-0 victory over Treasure Beach. They are at the top. Draws for Harbourview and Veer United and Humberland and Double Holden in terms of 0-all score lines, as well as Tivoli Gardens and Cavalier, who missed opportunities to move high up the table. And this is how that table looks. So Cavalier will remain in 3rd position after that. Arnett Gardens with that, well, seconds away from a win, will take them to 30 points, 9 wins from 15. They are up to 4th position. And as you can see, Treasure Beach and Lime Hall in the relegation battle there. Treasure Beach still 4 points away from safety. Malines, with that loss, remain on 11 points. So that's better for the relegation teams in Treasure Beach and Lime Hall in terms of, well, opportunity of coming out of that era. Mobay United, they remain in 8th. Well, move up actually by 1 place to 8th with 19 points. And Waterhouse, they remain in 7th on 20, just outside of the playoff spots as they missed that opportunity to leapfrog Dumble Holden in the top 6. It's been exciting out in the west at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. 2 exciting teams, 1 big match, and Waterhouse unable to follow and do the double over Mobay this season. It finishes here, Mobay United 2, Waterhouse 2. The Jamaica National Premier League here, sponsored by Ray and Nephew, and we say goodbye from the Montego Bay Sports Complex.